All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So the Yamamoto Pro Cup in Italy just wrapped up. Again, this was the show that a lot of people were thinking was going to be like the next Mr. Olympia or the Olympia 2.0 because of the poster that they put out that had Sean Roden, Cedric McMillan, Big Ramy, Roelly Winkler, William Bonac. All these big-name guys were on the poster for this show, but it was never actually announced who was competing or that these guys were, in fact, competing or not. And it turned out almost none of the guys on the poster were actually competing. In fact, just Roelly Winkler was competing. He was the only guy on the poster that was competing. So of this lineup, the only two names that were in this lineup from the Olympia were Roelly Winkler and Lucas Osladil. Now, this competition just wrapped up maybe half an hour ago in Italy. Roelly Winkler did win the show. I actually think based on the pictures and videos that I've seen from this show so far, to me, he looked a little bit tighter than the Olympia. Honestly, I think the lighting here was a lot better than the Olympia lighting, so it could have just been the lighting making him look better because I think the Olympia lighting this year was actually very, very bad. And the lighting at this show actually looks phenomenal to me in the pictures and videos that I've seen so far. So Roelly ended up winning this show. Nathandeasha showed up here and took second. Of course, as you guys know, Nathandeasha was not able to compete in the Mr. Olympia competition because of some pending steroid allegations, a court case that he had to appear to, and he just couldn't make it to the Olympia. So he showed up here. He did take second to Roelly Winkler, which is good and probably would be good or probably would be better in a better lineup because taking third here was Lucas Osladil, the only other guy in this lineup that was at the Olympia. Taking fourth was Andre Muzi, and taking fifth was Vahid Baharlo. Now, they also did have a classic physique division at this show in addition to men's open bodybuilding. You had Breon Ainsley winning that portion of the show. And see, that's where I think this is interesting. Like I said in my last video, I don't see why more guys wouldn't show up to try to A, qualify for next year's Mr. Olympia, and B, try to win that $70,000 prize money. I mean, if you could have the Breon Ainsley, who was the runner-up at this year's Mr. Olympia in Classic Physique, show up to compete in Classic Physique here in Italy, why couldn't we have the runner-up from the Olympia, or even third place at the Olympia, or even fourth place at the Olympia come to this show and compete, or even guys who didn't make it to the Olympia like Big Ramy? I think this would be the perfect opportunity for a guy like Ramy to compete, and I said that in my last video. I don't know, man. It just seemed like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, like right after the Olympia, there were several shows. There was like a tour of shows in, overseas countries. And it seemed like when Phil was winning the Olympia and Kai was runner-up and Big Ramy was a big name, it seemed like all those shows following the Olympia had like an Olympia caliber lineup. Kai would show up, Phil would show up, Big Ramy would show up, Dexter would show up. You'd have these crazy lineups at the Prague Pro, at the Shiru Classic, because all these main top Olympians stayed in shape the week after the Olympia, 2 weeks after the Olympia. And I just don't understand why more guys from the Olympia didn't show up and try to win, the $70,000 here. So it seemed like a bit of a disappointing lineup to me, but hey, it is what it is. You can't control it. So congratulations to Roelly Winkler for taking home this win. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, Nick Strength and Power signing out.